to talk. We got a lot to cover. We're going to jump right into it. Oh, man. It is not going well for Kamala and her stolen Valor running mate.
So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane.
Alrighty, it is Thursday, August 8th, 2024, 6 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And man, are things going as bad as they possibly could go for Kamala Harris. You know, her stolen Valor running mate, there's many disasters, which we're going to get into on that. But a lot is going on with Kamala that I want to start with. In particular, coming up in a bit, there is a video of hers that is not being widely distributed. I came across this video a couple days ago, and I am in shock that no one has run with it. I've not shared it on the program yet because I was going to do this yesterday, okay? But all this stolen Valor stuff came out with Walz, and I didn't get to it because the Walz thing was what we really had to focus on yesterday. And I was really upset that I didn't get to this, and because I didn't want to just play it as an afterthought. I wanted to explain the significance of it. But this Kamala Harris video is insane. This video should cause her to drop out of the campaign, possibly resign the vice presidency. I'm not kidding. And there should be some investigations done into her. And there very well may be, because this is really a confession that I'm going to get to in just a bit. And, you know, I didn't get to it yesterday because of all that Walz stolen Valor. And after the show, I was like, well, you know, I'm going to get scooped on this story. And no one ran with it. No one's covered it. But I will, coming up. And you won't want to miss it. Now, yesterday, it was the media just make me physically ill. They really do. I am so fed up with the media in this country. And there were two major media stories that they ignored. You know, the media loves stories about themselves more than anything else. The first one, and it's not the big one, which I'll get to second, the first one was J.D. Vance when he walked over to Air Force 2 yesterday. Did any of you guys see this? I'm sure you did. It was amazing. He happened to be in the same, not just the same airport, but on the same runway as Kamala. And he walked from his campaign plane, J.D. Vance, over to the press corps in front of Air Force 2, and he came across the tarmac, it looking like a scene out of a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. I mean, it was amazing. You know, like Reservoir Dogs or some movie. It was it was very cool. And he came over and confronted the press, and he was very good. And he said, you know, this plane is going to be mine in a couple of months. And Kamala Harris hasn't taken any questions from any of you guys in the press. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask that she's avoiding? And the press sat there on their hands in silence because they're not press, they're propagandists, they're liars. They should all be fired. It's amazing to me that the press sat there on their hands, didn't say a word when J.D. Vance walked over there. That in the old days, those media members would have all been fired by their editors who would have said, you missed a big scoop. You know, that event yesterday with J.D. Vance is one of the top 5, without even making a list, of the most historic, super cool, amazing news-making events in a presidential campaign. In fact, when it comes to vice presidents, what J.D. Vance did yesterday in front of Air Force 2 may very well be the most newsworthy event that has ever happened in the modern era since television with a vice presidential nominee. It was amazing what he did. They didn't ask him one question. But Kamala had what they're calling a rally yesterday. And there's a massive story that the media are not covering, even though they were all there and witnessed it. They don't want to cover the truth. Now, I watched a few minutes of Kamala Harris yesterday. I wanted to see what she was like. She had a lot of makeup on, a lot more makeup than normal, and looks like she may have gotten some Botox. I don't know. I've never had Botox. Oh, boy. But anyway, there were a lot of people there, right? And the stories were, look, she's got a Trump-like rally. Look at all these people. There's momentum. They love Kamala. Look at this. Trump better watch out. Wisconsin's a battleground state. Well, the truth has come out. This is in the Gateway Pundit. Listen to this. It was not a rally. Kamala pulled the same stunt in Wisconsin yesterday that she pulled in Atlanta last week with the twerkers. They had another free concert. But this wasn't just any free concert. It was a free concert with a Grammy award-winning band, Bon Iver, and the lead singer, that was his hometown. So they advertised in the hometown of the lead singer from a hit group that's got a Grammy, free concert for our hometown Grammy award-winning singer and frontman of this Bon Iver group. And they turned out for the concert. And not a single member of the media who were there and witnessed it report it. His name's Justin Vernon. Justin Vernon is his name. This is nuts. Bon Iver is a Grammy Award-winning indie folk band led by singer-songwriter Justin Vernon, who is from that town. And photographs, this is amazing, okay? Now, if you watched it on TV, they had the people in the grandstand behind Kamala, and they had Harris Stolen Valor signs up. Well, Harris wall signs they're holding up, okay? But when you see the video and photographs of the crowd that are not behind her, there's no signs. Couple people, that's it. Because they were there for the hometown Grammy Award-winning singer of this band and a free concert. And, I mean, I've been through this many times, so I'm not going to go through it. This is what Obama did in 2008. This is what they're doing now. But the entire media are there, and they're witnessing this, and they're not reporting. It's amazing to me that Republicans have ever gotten into office anywhere, because the propagandist, fake news, left-wing, Democrat media don't report anything that's going on. You know, if Donald Trump was attracting crowds by bussing in homeless people and putting on free concerts, and notice how in all of these, this is just like Obama with the crowd of 50,000 out in Oregon in 2008. They pick bands and musical acts that they're not just famous, but they're famous in that town. Right? This is nuts. But if Donald Trump pulled something like that, oh, the world would stop. We would be a nation in crisis. They would break in with the special breaking news sounders and everything else. Okay? But Kamala, they don't even report it. And it's disgusting. Now, there's much more. I'm going to take a break. We are going to get into this secret tape of Kamala's in a bit as well. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our first break of the day. I want to remind everybody that the free shipping offer is back at MyPillow.com on orders of $75 or more. with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And I mentioned in the last hour of yesterday's show, earlier this week, I was talking to Mike Lindell's office, his assistant. They were just touching base with me. You know, I talk to them at least once a week, sometimes more. And I just said to them, I said, because they asked me, what I think about the new specials and stuff sometimes. And I said, I wish you could bring back that free shipping offer. And I almost didn't say it to them. And then, they didn't say anything when I said it. And I didn't think about it again. And it didn't even really occur to me that I had said that to them till like the last hour of yesterday's show. And I think they added it because I asked them to. It's free shipping on orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And that is site-wide on everything at MyPillow.com. But the $25 specials are still in effect. The Giza MyPillows, $25. The MyPillow towel set, $25. The American Flag pillows, 2 for $25. The MyPillow sheets, $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. It goes on and on. But if you buy 3 of the $25 specials, there you go. You got your free shipping. So go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout. And remember, this stolen Valor, Walz, tried to run MyPillow out of Minnesota, misusing his powers as governor. That's what Mike Lindell says. So go there, support Mike Lindell, support MyPillow, and of course you're supporting us too. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action.
All right.
The Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, True Oldies listeners. Jupiter Joe here. Ask yourself, do I have a guaranteed retirement plan, or do I have...
William, thank you for the super chat. The Lapdog News Media never disappoints. Isn't that the truth, man?
Never to lose money, guaranteed to earn interest, and protected from stock market losses. If you want your retirement plan to work like this, go to jupiterjoe.com or give me a call at 561-743-0999. Again, jupiterjoe.com or 561-743-0999.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you know where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
The best way to protect your family from the effects of a hurricane is to make a disaster plan. In the same way you plan for your family, it's important to also make a plan for your pets. Making a pet plan ensures you know what to do for your pets when a storm threatens your community. You can locate pet-friendly shelters, find a list of supplies you may need to bring with you, and other information that can help you and your pets evacuate quickly and safely by visiting makeapetplan.com. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Hey everyone, Brian Craig here. You asked Mike Lindell and he listened. Mike's offering the queen size MyPillow for just $19.98 with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Plus, you can get the 6-piece MyPillow towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new MyPillow mattress topper as low as $69.98. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane for these huge discounts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, we're back. 20 minutes after the hour, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Richie, you're up early today?
I watched you this morning. Also, I don't sleep much. I'm getting a little shaky here because I see what's going on, and you're 100% right here. And I don't know how we're going to get around what's going on. I mean, first of all, people ask the question: how could she pick a vice president that literally, that literally let his city burn down while his wife was smell. Nobody reports it. Nobody's reporting that. Nobody reports the condoms in the bathroom but outside. I mean, it's complete crickets. The press showed what they are when J.D. Vance went up there yesterday. Usually you hear them shouting out questions, silence. And she knew he was there because the two Secret Service people, they saw each other. It was like, who was it? They're both looking at each other.
Well, one of them went and whispered in the ear of the other one from a different detail. It looked to me like one of Kamala Harris's Secret Service guys whispered in the ears of one of JD's, and like, what's going on here? I mean, that was one of. I'll just say it. That was the biggest badass move I've ever seen a vice presidential candidate make ever.
Yeah, but she took off like a thief in the night.
Was she When JD was standing in front of Air Force Two, attempting to have a press conference, and the media were mute, they had nothing to say or ask. Do we know, was Kamala on the plane? I don't know. Where was she?
No, she was in the car. She was in the limousine.
She was in the limo. She was in the SUV behind him.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
They didn't wait around for him. They were just.
If you send that to me, Mike, I'll do it.
They took off.
I can't hear you. Hold on. Wait. Yeah.
Around there. This is really bad. This is really bad, man. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get around this.
Well, we are. Trump is still leading in the battlegrounds. He's doing well. I'm not worried, but
I listened to Spicer yesterday. I watched Spicer. He says, listen, this is going to be right now. It's like really toss up. I mean, and they're getting all.
It's not.
Light from the press.
It's not. Listen, I talked a lot yesterday. If they were going for the toss-ups, she would have picked somebody from one of the battleground states, and she didn't. Shapiro and Kelly. They're both in battleground toss-up states. She didn't pick either of them. Okay?
But listen to me. This guy is not being exposed by the media at all.
Well, first off, Richie. Okay, it's what at the last call of yesterday's show was Joelle, and I was trying to explain this to her. All this stuff that we're going through, what you're talking about, what Joellen called about at the end of the show, the Democrats and the media have always done this. This is not new. They did not start doing this with Trump. Okay, they've done this always. I mean, remember John Edwards impregnated a campaign worker, okay, while he was married to his wife who had cancer, and the media didn't report it. Okay, so they never. I mean, there was a guy from the Swift boats during John Kerry that we had on. This is when I got the idea to do that commercial. This guy, listen to this, guys. Okay, you want to talk about something nuts? We had a guy on this program, and he was captured by the North Vietnamese, and he was in the Hanoi Hilton. They tortured him to try to get him to sign the confession. They played for him recordings of John Kerry calling American service personnel in Vietnam war criminals in the congressional hearings, and he still didn't sign the confession, and the media wouldn't report it. So what's going on, all the things that you and others are concerned about, this is how it's always been. It's not unique and new with Trump.
Let me say something to you. You're not going to like what I'm going to say, because you say you never criticized President Trump. I think J.D. Vance actually cleaned up the little bit of mess that he made, and that was a mess because I enjoyed it, you enjoyed it, MAGA enjoyed it when he went back on that back on that black reporter. But his answer should have been immediately yes, she was that kind of hire, and the reason I say that is because President Biden picked her for that reason, and there were a lot more qualified black women than her. His answer was so bad that the press jumped on it, and he can't say nothing without the press jumping on him. So it's got to really be thoughtful. I thought that was a bad answer.
Really? No, I thought. Oh no, it was not. It was a great answer, and it started a whole dialogue.
Great answer.
Thursday morning.
But it gave. And he lost momentum.
No, he has not lost. Where has he lost momentum?
You don't think he's lost momentum here?
No, what am I missing?
Very little of him at all. And
He's got a rally on Friday, okay? And I think the reason he hasn't been doing anything this week is because you may have noticed they just stopped another assassin, the Pakistani international Muslim Islamic assassin. They just got him a couple days ago. A couple days before that, they got a Chinese guy that was trying to get into Mar-a-Lago. I think they've had him under lockdown. And that Pakistan... I know, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to interview President Trump.
Can you hear him?
Oh. 100 million.
100 million. You couldn't get... But this is what... See, we have to fight back, man. We really have to fight back. But we have to stay on topic. We can't be... I mean, guys like you and me, okay, we're talking screaming that the guy is a liar, which I know this governor is a creep and a liar, but President Trump has to stay on what he would do terribly for this country and what he would do right for this country. As soon as he gets on these personal attacks...
No, and let me tell you, I watched J.D. Vance. He had a press conference in Wisconsin yesterday, not just the Air Force Two thing. He was visiting, I don't know, what was that, a factory? Okay. So you I'm sure you noticed this. What J.D. Vance did was absolutely brilliant. When he took questions, he only took questions from local media. Why do you think he did that? Only took questions from local media. Why do you think he did that?
Because the local media are going to really ask him to really...
No, because if he only took... In fact, he said, next question, local media only. The reason that J.D. Vance in Wisconsin only took questions from local media is because that means he'll be in local media, all right? He'll be on all the local TV stations, all the local radio, newspapers, whatever it is, he'll be on it. They're reaching the local people. Donald Trump is very active and very involved. He's just campaigning in a bit of a different way. The rallies are great, but it's preaching to the choir. He's doing a lot of things, meeting with people, and that are not normal rally goers.
Let me ask you a question. This is straight up. There's a governor in Georgia, and we need Georgia. We need Georgia.
Yeah.
And there's a governor that's very popular in Georgia, and he's got a feud with him right out in the middle of everything. Why does President Trump have this feud with this guy? I know the guy stabbed him in the back, and Rothenberger stabbed him in the back. But at this point, you got to try to. You got.
Oh, you're talking about the rally. I'll tell you why. If you noticed. Yeah.
Senators that were basically elected because the governor was against them.
Okay, the reason that's true is You're asking why did Trump in the rally in Atlanta attack the Georgia governor? If you notice, it wasn't he attacked him, no doubt about it, but he was very specific, directing his comments towards the lieutenant governor and other state level officials. Okay, that was. I don't know about that. There's a lot of other Republicans, okay, that hold office at the state level that are involved in the whole process there that don't like him because they were there with Trump.
Okay, how did we end up with two liberal senators?
That was years ago. It's different. President Trump had, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the highest-ranking state-level Georgia officials under the governor right there with him. So I don't know how popular the governor is, but the rest of the state-level senior officials were at the rally.
I get it, but I would wish that he would step in. Doing that is not helpful. I'm sorry. That's my opinion.
All right. We'll find out. I mean, we'll find out, and we're still well ahead in Georgia, and that's going to maintain. In fact, if you remember, the Biden campaign pulled out of Georgia like 6 months ago. Remember that? I talked about it on the show. All right. Well, I understand. You know what's going on, and I get it, Richie, okay? And others. We're close. We're getting down to it, and people get nervous. I don't like suspense. I don't like suspense. That's why I go to bed early on election night. I can't handle it, okay? So tensions are high. We're getting close. Suspense is up there, okay? But I don't have a worry in the world, and I don't think President Trump does either. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Malone from the all-year cooling weather center. Today is Thursday, August 8th, 2024, and right now it's 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, we're going to be in a heat advisory effect until 6 p.m. tonight with cloudy skies throughout the day. So stay cool, stay hydrated, and have a good rest of your Thursday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC.
Now, guys, I'm putting the link at the top of the chat to Laporta Roofing. It is also in the description of the video. If you're watching live, you can get the link right there to Laporta Roofing at the top of the chat. If you're not watching live, the link is in the description of the video, or you can just go to LaportaRoofing.com. But if you're in Florida and you have any damage from this hurricane that just went through the West Coast, give Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing a call. You know, he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. So if you just need a simple repair, he'll do it. But here's the thing with Tom Laporta, okay? First off, I'm going to give you his cell phone. And, you know, Laporta Roofing is a big company. You're going to get the cell phone number of the owner. Don't believe me? Call him. He'll answer. You can also text him, by the way. But he works with every type of roofing material. He works on every type of structure there is. And he's also a contractor, which means under Florida law, Tom Laporta can deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair to the damage or the replacement that you need after that storm went through Florida the other day. So give him a call. This is his cell phone number, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. All right? Make sure you tell him that I told you about him. I'd appreciate it.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Shawna.
Okay.
Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem.
All right, let me cue this stuff up.
Feels so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in there to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, Appleton.
We'll be back shortly.
Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
Did you know the Volin Center offers free transportation? Catching a ride with the Volin Center coach has never been easier. The Volin Center has been providing rides for seniors age 60 and over since 1968. Available to all clients and the public. Pick you up or take you home. To shopping and appointments too. Servicing Boca, Delray, Boynton, and free rides to doctors. The Volin Center. Together, we make community happen. Learn more at volincenter.com.
All right, we're coming back.
044602. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian, celebrating 47.
All right, and just a quick addition, I heard Tom Laporta there during the break. You know, if you have any damage over on the West Coast from that hurricane that hit Florida last week, remember this about Tom Laporta. You know, he's a contractor. So he can deal directly with your insurance company for the cost of the repairs or the replacement of your roof. That's right. So give him a call, and that number is his cell phone number. Don't believe me? Call him. He'll answer. But remember, you can also text him, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602 for Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Okay, so getting back to this, if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. That rally yesterday that Kamala had was not a rally. They had a free concert again. And the concert was with a Grammy award-winning band from Wisconsin. The lead singer, that was his hometown. So they advertised everybody, their hometown guys coming in, free. That's what that was. And I detailed all the details about that. But everything about this campaign is fake. For the last week, there's been story after story of them hiring influencers to go and promote. And I know some of you may say, well, you promote things. I do, but I think you know when I'm doing a commercial. Now, the commercials I do are personal endorsements, and all of the advertisers here on the program, either I use them, Steve uses them, or we both use them, okay? We don't advertise a restaurant where we haven't had the meal, okay? That's it. You know, even the doorbell camera from Sloman's, I told you, when Sloman's first approached me to represent them, they said, hey, would you like a doorbell? I already have it. Yeah, okay, you understand what I mean? My cars are on tires from Friendly Tire. You know, but you know when I'm doing a commercial, we haven't received one penny from the Trump campaign. Nothing. Okay? We're not paid by the Trump campaign or Donald Trump or anything like that. And we've been promoting him really since 2011 when he was first toying with the idea of running for president. We've been talking about it. And we haven't gotten one penny, okay, from the Trump organization at all. But what Kamala has been doing are hiring online influencers to go to her events, pretend to like her, and give favorable reporting. And they're paying some of them thousands of dollars. Here's a story with one girl. She's an African-American influencer, and she was paid by one of the Democrat super PACs. Listen to this. These are the things that the media are not reporting to you.
Who met us in Houston was one of a few dozen influencers invited to the White House to watch the State of the Union and meet President Biden.
He said to us, the collective presence in this room has more viewership on Gen Z than all of traditional media combined.
Now, Democratic organizations are flooding the creator community with cash and providing behind-the-scenes access.
Come with me to meet the President of the United States.
The Harris campaign does not pay influencers directly. CBS News found a constellation of other Democratic political organizations that do.
Okay, see, it's a money laundering operation. So the Kamala Harris campaign has a money laundering operation where they pay through these third-party PACs, influencers, to go to these fake free concerts that are disguised as Kamala Harris rallies.
Of other Democratic political organizations that...
And some of them are, listen to the names of some of them. Community Change, Next Gen America, Priorities USA Action. These are all front groups for the Kamala Harris campaign. You know, this might be against the law. What they're doing may be highly illegal. You know, well, let's get back to it.
In the first 100 days of Republican presidency under Trump, Project 2025 talks about sacking thousands of civil servants.
Last month...
Okay, now see that? She's talking about... This is a news story. She's talking about Project 2025. Remember, everyone was talking about that for a couple weeks on the left? How do you think they got that going? They were paying influencers to do videos about it on all the social media platforms. And that's how they got a buzz going. You know, you heard what these influencers got a lot of people watching.
Trump. Project 2025 talks about sacking thousands of civil servants.
Last month, Sunday says she was hired by Protect Our Care, a progressive advocacy group that relies on anonymous donors. She made a video warning about Trump's second-term agenda.
They almost help you script it, right?
Right,
like
definitely.
She takes their talking points and puts them into her own voice, saying she always discloses when she's being paid.
What's your rate?
So a video just for a creator in my size, an average can go from $3,000 to $10,000 depending, and upwards.
This is a bid by...
See, $3,000 to $10,000 they're paying her, the Democrats, to do Project 2025 videos, pro-Biden, pro-Harris videos. $3,000 to $10,000 a video. And see, since it's not a business, they don't care about how much money it is. A business, they have to get a return. What they're paying for is getting this fake trend going on that they want, like Project 25 or whatever. Like, you know what another one was? I don't think I mentioned this one. The thing about the couch with J.D. Vance. There was this trend going on among the Gen Z influencers that J.D. Vance and Hillbilly Elegy had written something about having sex with a couch. Did any of you hear this story? It was all over social media. There's nothing about a couch or anything. They even cited the page number of the book, and it was altered. It had nothing to do with a couch or anything, that part of the book. But they paid these influencers to go and do videos about it and post on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and everything, and they did it, and it became a reality.
Can go from $3,000 to $10,000 depending, and upwards.
This is a bid by campaigns to create authenticity at a small scale.
University of Pittsburgh's Sam Woolley.
How are you creating authenticity if you're hiring them and paying them and giving them scripts? Right? How's that? 1984, they're changing the meaning of words. Authenticity now means scripted, fake.
Campaigns to create authenticity at a small scale.
University of Pittsburgh's Sam Woolley studies political influencers.
How can you tell what is a genuine grassroots expression of political opinion versus what's being paid for?
If you see multiple influencers spreading the same exact message, you can start to realize, some kind of coordination is going on.
Next up for Sunday, the Democratic National Convention.
They just told us that if we wanted to put on our own show, that they would give us all the resources to do that.
The Democrats are rolling out the red carpet.
Definitely, and I'm glad to be on it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? She's young and dumb, and they're paying her $10,000 a video to do it. It beats working at the Old Navy or Chipotle, doesn't it? It's very frustrating. This conversation I had with Richie, the Joe Ellen at the end of yesterday's show, really, I didn't have enough time to process it with her. This is what the Democrats have always done, people. Okay? We have always had the media against us with lies, crap like this, misrepresentation, refusing to report news. All right? And that's the way it's always been. It is not new and unique with Trump. Okay? I know people think it is, but it's not. This is how they've always operated. And this thing about influencers, that they've had success with that. Project 2025 was nothing, a big nothing, but they got a whole trend going on it just by doing that. But they've always had the media on their side. We've never had the media on our side. Ever. Okay? Ever, ever, ever. Like, there was that one thing when I got on CBS News during the 2000 recount. Remember I told this, I'll tell you real quick, just take a second. CBS reporter was in Broward County during the recount. She's interviewing a black woman who was yelling about how she was not allowed to vote and she was disenfranchised. And I went up to the reporter. I interrupted. And I said to the reporter, I can't remember the reporter. She was an Asian lady. I can't remember her name. I said to her, you really think this lady with her mouth was told she couldn't vote and she just walked away? And the woman started yelling at me. This was on camera. This was on CBS News, the national news, by the way. This was not the local affiliate. This is the clip I've seen on the History Channel a couple times. You just see it in the background. You don't hear me or anything. And she says, "How dare you?" She was telling you, "Tell me I wasn't." And I said, "Well, when it happened, who'd you report it to?" And I started asking her questions, and it fell apart. And I said, "See, she's lying. There's no details here." But you know what? Didn't stop the reporter from continuing the report and putting the lie out there. So we've always had the media against us. They've always had fake rallies and fake events. They've always gone after our people. Look what they did to Joe the Plumber. Look what they did to Sarah Palin. Look what they're doing to Donald Trump. The only Republican they really didn't go after was Pence because they knew he was one of them. Okay? So I don't want you guys to... a lot of you are new to politics during the Trump era. This is how it has always been. Look at Ross Perot in 92. Ross Perot was a Democrat plant. Okay? Bill Clinton got like 43% of the vote. Something like that. It's been a long time, but very little. Ross Perot came in and split the Republican vote. I was 20. I voted for him. I didn't know. I was a kid. I was stupid. Ross Perot was a Democrat operative who was brought in to split the Republican vote, and he did. Okay? And so they've always been doing dirty tricks. They've always had the media. That's why I don't have... I lose my patience with these doomsayer callers that are always depressed. And I guess because I'm just used to it, every election it is this way. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Good morning, Palm Beach. The wait is over. The much anticipated Skillets restaurants are now open here in Palm Beach County. Serving the hottest breakfast in town at any of their 3 locations: Boca Raton, Delray, and Wellington. Daily baked scones, signature custom skillets, made from scratch, giant pancakes and waffles. I could go on and on. Skillets even offers a summer budget menu. Kids eat free on Tuesdays. You can't beat this one.
I want to get to this Kamala Harris video that should end her campaign after the top of the hour break, guys. I'm going to open the top of the hour with it.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give you...
By the way, those of you that are members, I put a members-only vlog up yesterday. So if you haven't watched it, you members out there, it's exclusive just to members. And at the end of it, I took my old car to the auto shop and got an estimate on some repairs. So if you guys could let me know what you think I should do with that car, I'd appreciate it.
We use all-natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family-owned practice has had the honor of serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%. You and your family deserve the best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Well, the thing is, Brandon, I had to get a new car for my wife recently. So we just got a new car for my wife. So I'm just trying to figure out, is the cost of the repair worth it on that vehicle? I'm a little divided on it. We'll be back shortly.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plum tender,
Well, I appreciate you going to that trouble, Tina Fitzpatrick.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
It sure is. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. You know, I was talking a few minutes ago, I don't like suspense. I also don't like stress. I don't like ups and downs. I don't like gambling. You know, we go on our cruises. We got the 6-1 coming up. I don't gamble, and my daughter does, and I don't even give my daughter money for gambling. I won't give her money to gamble on. I am very anti-gambling. I work too hard to throw my money away, and I don't like that feeling of when I've lost, you know. This craziness that's been going on in the stock market, if you guys were with Jupiter Joe Thomas and with annuities, you wouldn't care how high or low the stock market goes, because with Joe Thomas and annuities, no matter what the stock market's doing, your money, your nest egg is safe, it's secure, you don't have to worry, you're not going to lose, and you can generate income when you're retired. It's an amazing thing, and it'll help you live a longer life because you'll be stress-free. You know what it must be like for people that are retired? They got all the money in the market, then all of a sudden they find out they lost 30% of what they... Oh, my gosh. It's not going to happen with Jupiter Joe Thomas. Give him a call, 561-743-0999. Set up a free phone consultation, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located in America, not just South Florida or Florida, but in the United States. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. After the top of the hour, I'm going to get into this video of Kamala that is being suppressed that is insane. So you won't want to miss that right after the top of the hour break. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Lisa in Texas.
Hey, Lisa, what's up?
And I'm not Texas, sorry, Tennessee. I forgot where I was.
Oh, you moved to Tennessee.
Yes, correct. I don't know if you had heard about both Project Veritas and O'Keefe Media, what they've discovered about what the Democrats are doing with the Kamala Harris campaign. Is they're taking money. If somebody makes a small donation, they're not getting their CVV number, and they're actually stealing money from people, the dollars.
Oh, what do you mean? They're running the card through again? They run the card through again? Yeah, I've heard of I've seen that. I wonder, do they have a thing in the small print that nobody reads where you're authorizing it or not? I wonder.
It's over the phone.
You know, and that's insane. I mean, that's got to be a felony, campaign finance violation. It's got to be.
Oh, it's already being looked into in Texas. That's where one of the ladies was from.
Well, what I'm here to tell you, all you guys that are worried, when you see what she's raising money, but they're doing financial crimes to raise money. They're putting on free concerts with hometown Grammy Award winners in the town where the event is, and they're calling it a rally when it's just a free concert that they plug her into briefly. That's why she doesn't talk very long. That's why she has to shout down the crowd to shut up while she's speaking, because they're not there for her, right? So they're annoyed. So if her campaign was going well, they wouldn't be doing all these things.
That's correct. That's correct. And I appreciate what you're putting out there to help people.
I'm doing my best. I get frustrated, and I know that I lose my patience with a lot of people that are like, oh, they're just going to do this or that. And I'm trying to explain to you, if you have followed presidential elections, I know a lot of you have since Reagan, this is what they always do. You know, Ronald Reagan, his two children, Ron Reagan Jr. and what is Ronald Reagan's daughter's name? Patty Davis. When he was president, they were nuts. They both had psychological problems. His daughter used to escape her Secret Service detail. She'd get in her car and haul butt down the street and escape from the Secret Service. And she had mental issues. And what happened? That sleazeball Hugh Hefner put her in Playboy while he was president. Ron Reagan Jr. was a wannabe actor. He's got no talent, but they put him in a movie with C. Thomas Howell and Ray Dong Chong and James Earl Jones where he used the N-word and every other racial slur you've ever heard throughout the entire movie. President Reagan's son, and he did it while he was president. You know? So they've always pulled this crap.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And we've got to keep our chins up, and we've got to look at the reality. And you know, he is ahead everywhere, and they just completely lie about that. It is amazing. But it goes back to when I called in the other morning about the devolution, right? And it's, you know.
Yeah, and see, Donald Trump, you know, Richie says, well, I'm not seeing rallies. Trump has a rally, I believe, Friday, right? He has at least one this weekend. But what he's doing is he's running his campaign in a very different way, and it's brilliant. And this is the Charlie Kirk influence. You know, rallies are wonderful, but we already love him. We're already voting for him. He's doing things to reach people that he doesn't reach at a rally. That influencer he went on earlier this week, I forgot his name, the Gen Z influencer. Millions of people saw that. He's one of the most popular Gen Z guys in media. Elon Musk on Monday, and he's doing a whole bunch more in between that we don't follow because we're not on TikTok or we're not 22 years old, right? He's doing a lot of things, but not the traditional media. He's talking to people that he would not normally be talking to at a rally. That's why he seems out of sight from you, but he's not out of sight.
No, he's working hard, and yeah, what J.D. Vance did, I saw that too. I was like, you go, D. That's.
I mean, I couldn't believe, you know, and I could tell. I was watching his Secret Service guys, and they thought they were going to get in trouble. They're like, what are we doing here? I mean, we're going to get in trouble here. Because they, you know what I mean? I've never seen anything like that. And they wanted to stop him, but what were they going to do?
Yeah, they couldn't stop him. Well, let me let you go.
All right, I appreciate the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Sandra from Boca.
Hey, Sandra. I'm all right.
So I'm on your side. I just not paying attention to the media about the things that they're saying. They're making her like she's made a cake or something. And it's like, no offense against her running mate, but I really didn't think he was 60 years old. I really didn't.
What did you think?
Biden's age. Close.
Yeah, you know, he and Kamala are the same age.
Yeah, I was like, what? I really thought the guy was at least maybe 77.
Yeah, I did too.
When I saw that he was 60 years old, I went, oh my.
Well, he's so weird. I thought he was in his 70s and was some old hippie that smokes weed all the time. You know, because a lot of senior citizens smoke a lot of pot because they're like the 60s and 70s generation, and now they're senior citizens, so they're all hooked on weed, you know, and it's legal now. But no, he's the same age as Kamala Harris. He's 60.
He's 60 years old.
But
hours.
This stolen valor thing is going to be their undoing. This is going to have a snowball effect. You know, veterans and current serving personnel in our armed services, they don't put up with that crap. And that is going to do him in. He is on tape telling a group that, I'm not talking about the C-SPAN interview, okay? He was talking to a group at a stump event that he says, I carried weapons of war in a war zone. I'm going to play the audio later, and I imagine he probably said that a whole bunch of times on his stump speech.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another video of Kamala with these two ladies that she's being interviewed by. They're on a stage, and she's in the middle, and she's, doing the cackle that she normally does, and says, we have to remain woke.
Yes. And, Kamala...
One of the girls is looking at her like...
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We only have like 5 seconds left, but Kamala gave the same speech word for word yesterday that she gave in Atlanta last week. Same, word for word, same. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, we'll be right back after our top of the hour break. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1.
What time does Barry call today, Mike? Okay.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. UBKC offers exciting OTB action from top horse tracks, including Saratoga Racetrack, now through September 1st. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. Coming up live in the paddock, it's the Rat Pack Now, August 23rd. Comedian Johnny Goomba, September 28th. The Pure Zeppelin Experience, October 11th. Let it be November 8th, and more. Go to bbkennelclub.com.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation when you use our low-cost central station monitoring. Our
We'll be back shortly, guys.
designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office for one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in
All right. We're coming back, guys. Stand by.
Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
We are back 4 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. I am Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. I'll take a call or two, then I'll get into some more stuff. If you missed the first hour, you missed a lot. But I'm going to recap what I led with at 6-2 coming up, because it's a big story that's not being reported anywhere. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian. It's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff. What's up?
Hey, listen, Kamala Harris, when she got the nomination from Biden, hasn't done a press conference since then. And every time she steps off a plane, she walks to a table, picks up a script, reads it, and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
She can't even talk. You know, J.D. Vance has improved so much in his speaking and his rallies, and he's way more fluent now. He's not as good as Trump, but talking off the cuff and answering any question, he's doing really well, and he's better.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was the best pick. I thought of him, I mean, he is the best pick. It's evident Trump knew what he was doing when he picked him. And this Kamala, there's no way they're going to put her on a stage with Trump. No way. She's going to look like an idiot.
Well, then this will be the first presidential election without a presidential debate since television has been in living rooms. I mean, this is the expected.
But do you think they really could script her well enough not to make her look like a fool on a stage with Trump?
It depends. Well, here's the thing about Kamala. A lot of times people that are stupid don't know it. They think they're smart. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God, that's so true.
So she may not know how dumb she is. I've been talking about this for the last couple of days, and I've done some research. I have not been able to find, and I'm bringing this up yesterday. She said she was a trial attorney and all this stuff. Yesterday, I did quite a bit of research, but I've been looking for it all week. I have not been able to find a single photograph or video of Kamala Harris in a courtroom arguing a case in front of a jury. If you do internet searches for videos or photographs of Kamala Harris in a courtroom, most everything that comes up are Senate hearings. A couple things come up of her behind a desk for different offices she's held. I don't know if she's ever tried a case in front of a jury. In California, they have cameras in the courtrooms. That's why we have all the high-profile trials have come out of California over the years. Don't you find it odd that there's not a photograph or a video of her arguing a case that she's prosecuting in front of a jury?
I want to see her law license.
Well, I'm sure she's got that. But I don't know. There's two possibilities here. One, she never argued a case in front of a jury. Two, if she did, they were petty, pathetic cases she either lost or embarrassing, minor cases. If there was, they're trying to promote her as a prosecutor. That's their thing. That's all she. If they had video and photos of her, they would be out there. I've known a lot of attorneys in my life. Attorneys love photographs of them in courtrooms in front of juries. They put them on their walls in their offices. And I just find it odd, and I don't think it's really occurred to anyone. Has she ever been in a courtroom trying a case?
I don't think she has.
I'm starting to think that.
And I question if she has a real law degree.
Well, I'm sure she has the degree. What I question is, did she really pass the exam, or did her boyfriend fix it for her?
That's a better point. Did she ever pass the law exam? I can't imagine she is. When she speaks, it's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
This Tim Tampon guy,
mm-hmm.
that's the vice president, he's another joke. And that stolen valor thing, there's a lot of veterans on this site. Let me tell you, that's disgusting what he said, talking about weapons of mass, for weapons of war that he used.
In a war zone.
Disqualifying. That should disqualify him.
Stolen valor is a crime.
Yes, it is.
It never used to be.
It's funny how the Department of Justice wants to just go after conservatives and MAGA people and not liberals. And that's the one thing that Trump will fix is we need justice reform, education reform, close the border. All this stuff Trump will do, and he'll do it fast.
Well, the thing with this stolen valor things have come up from time to time with politicians, but they usually come up cold, and it takes a while for them to build up. Walz, there's been a group of command sergeant majors and other soldiers retired in Minnesota that have been after him for years. So they already have an organization together with all this material. That's why so much is coming out so quick. They were screaming at the top of their lungs for years in Minnesota, and now they got the national stage. And what I can describe this is going to be a snowball effect. It's going to continue, and it's going to continue, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. He will never apologize, and it's going to get worse. And veterans, even veterans that are Democrats, believe it or not, they exist. Stolen valor is like it's the worst. People get really...
Here's Brian. I would never in a million years, even though I served and was airborne, ever say I was in combat, because I never was. And for a man running for vice president to say it and get caught on video, that's disgusting.
Well, and then what he did to his men, he had 500 men under his command. They get the deployment orders to the combat zone, and he quit. Yellow. He's a yellow coward. Like Chuck Connors. Remember Branded? Branded is the man who ran, you know? And he let his men go off to combat in a war zone. He got out. He abandoned his men. And I watched an interview with the guy that went in his place. Some of the soldiers under his command died because, you know, maybe their leader wasn't there. I don't know. But members of that unit died, and he abandoned them. I mean, that is the most cowardly move I have heard from a military man in politics, I think, ever. It's like Bergdahl. Remember Bergdahl that ran away and got captured? It's like that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And, you know, whatever happened to him, I'd like to know what happened to him. He's got a pension.
Yeah, there was some legal filings after that. I'd have to look into it. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, man. Take care. All right, great call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Hi there. So I've heard you mention my name twice today. I don't know what made you so upset or whatever, but what I was calling in yesterday was
yeah.
That you had said that they were not going to be cheating.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I didn't say that. I did not say that. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said that they don't have a nationwide machine in place like they had in the past to accomplish something on a grand scale again. And then I went on to say, all these things that you're talking about, the Democrats have done this since there's been a Democrat Party. Okay? They've been doing this for over 150 years. Okay? This is not something that started with Trump. So if your standard is, well, you know, screw it, they're going to do their thing, and you sit on your hands and discourage people from voting, that's a loser. This is what by talking of, yes.
Okay, well, if you don't want to talk about
because no, the Democrat. What I'm trying to tell you, Joellen, and it's not just you, it's others. The Democrats have been doing this for over 150 years, okay? And we've won election after election. They don't have a national machine in place to do something on a grand scale, okay, in the battleground states, but they're going to do it like they always have, but we have been able to beat them because there's more of us than them. So we've got to have a mass turnout to swamp them like President Trump says. But if your standard is they're going to stop doing what they've been doing for 160 years, well, then, you know, you're never going to be satisfied. They always do that. And when you talk about when you talk about it like that, you discourage people from voting because a lot of people will say, what's the point?
Well, those people probably wouldn't be voting anyway.
That's not true. That's not true.
Listening to some of these social media. I don't go on social media. I don't listen to the TV. I listen to like people like Dan Bongino.
Yeah.
And some of
well, good. You've got good taste. But I just think that this is what I get frustrated about, okay? It does discourage it's two things. One, it does discourage people from voting. Two, which we don't need. Two, we're on top of the world right now, especially with this stolen valor pick, this guy, right? And then a lot of people like you always want to, And the third thing is this, what I told you a moment ago. This is what Democrats have always done. Everything we're experiencing now. They didn't start doing this because Trump. And it's not new. And we have beat them time and time again.
It's new. What I called in yesterday was to tell you about Jamie. That was one of the things I said.
Well, that's okay. The Jamie Raskin thing. Okay, we were up against the end of the show, but I talked to another caller about this yesterday or the day before. Jamie Raskin, what he's talking about doing, the Democrats always do when a Republican wins. Okay? When you go online and you can look this up, the first time I saw it was when George Bush won in 2000, about, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe 10 Democrats went up and made that motion, okay, in front of the House that Raskin's talking about. It's just something that they throw out to their constituents. It goes nowhere. They do that in every election, what Jamie Raskin talked about. They do it in every election. I've seen it time and time again. It's
the fact that you're talking about discouraging voters just because I said something.
It's not just you. It's many others. It's many others.
That should have the direct different effect on these people.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't, because you're telling them it's a waste of time. You're telling them it's a waste. It doesn't matter because I know you don't want to hear that.
By no means am I saying that. And the fact that they've let in 10 to 15 million people illegally.
Listen. What? So they're not the things that you're talking about that they do are mostly going to be in the blue states. The battleground states are solid. If they were thinking about anything, they would have made Shapiro the running mate and then said, "Oh, Pennsylvania, he's the governor, he's popular, and that's it." They have no story. They don't have a strong machine right now. They've given up on the battleground states and they're focused solely on blue states. But focusing on that one issue is incredibly destructive for our movement.
I am not focusing on that. I only brought it up because Bongino was talking about it, and that.
Well, okay.
I am not. I know that Trump is going to win. I know that he is. But still, there's.
Well, stop telling people that it's a waste of time to vote. I know you don't think you're saying that.
I never would say that.
That's what you don't realize it. You don't realize it, and it's not just you. Don't take it personally. You're one of many. And I'll tell you, a lot of the people that call me about it are Democrat seminar callers because they know the effect it has. The last guy that called about it before you this week was a Democrat seminar caller. I could tell by his voice. Okay, and a lot of the and of course this isn't Bongino, this isn't you, but a lot of people that talk about it are people that are Democrat operatives that are trying to discourage MAGA people from voting. I give you an example. President Trump and Laura Trump are telling people when early voting starts to vote early, okay? Which I support. I support that. But anytime I bring it up, I'll hear from somebody, usually a seminar caller, telling me then they'll have the No, you on election day, because the Democrats, they don't. Their whole thing is not about rallies. They're trying to do some things now because Kamala got embarrassed, but their whole campaign strategy is about getting out the vote. Okay? And during the early voting period, which is a month or more in some places, all they do is pick people up in cars, vans, and buses and get them to vote early. On election day, the Democrats are tens of millions ahead of us, and we try to catch up on one day. That's almost impossible. So the early voting is as soon as early voting begins in Florida, the first opportunity I have, I'm going to go vote for Donald Trump, as opposed to election day.
I'm telling everybody to do the same thing. So.
Okay, all right. I got to run, Joelle, and I'm really thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on 888-COCAINE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Not anymore. It's all gone. Thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper. And he's excellent. And
Excuse me, guys.
I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
It's time to save more and savor more on unforgettable cruise vacations with Margaritaville at Sea. Upgrade your summer plans with free stateroom upgrades. Plus, buy one, get one guest fares on Bahamas and Caribbean cruises through 2025. Grab your best mate and get ready for unforgettable journeys filled with handcrafted cocktails, jaw-dropping entertainment, and deep blue ocean views. Now sailing easy breezy getaways from Palm Beach and Tampa Bay. Your upgraded adventure awaits on board Margaritaville at Sea. Claim your license to chill and this limited time free upgrade offer at margaritavilleatsea.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at...
All right, welcome back. I just saw this online. There's a guy running for state senate here in Florida, up in North Florida, and he's got a campaign ad here. It's on a website I'm on. And it says, endorsed by Governor DeSantis. Oh, my goodness. Does this guy think that helps him? If I was endorsed by Governor DeSantis, I wouldn't be bragging about it. Okay? Now, in a primary, there's no way I'd vote for a guy like that. But in the general, you got to vote Republican. I mean, better than the Democrat. But that's pretty scary that a guy thinks an endorsement by Ron DeSantis it makes a statement about you, buddy. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know anything about the guy. Never heard of him before. And maybe he's a good guy doing something stupid. I don't know, but that's pretty stupid. If you're on hold, hang in there. Before we go back to the calls, I want to remind you guys that the free doorbell camera offer with your installation of your Sloman Shield is still in effect from Sloman's, but only for a limited time. The doorbell camera, I have it. You will love it. It is so convenient, and it's certainly added security to your home. So they're going to give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your phone, just like mine, with the installation of your Sloman Shield. They're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. It also makes a great gift, guys. Somebody in your family, your kids, your grandkids, give them the security. You can get this for them as well as yourself. And even if you're in a condo, if you're not in if you're not in a single family home, if you're in a condo, you can have it in your condo too, guys. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
When you mentioned earlier the media, boy, I never thought there would be that Kamala Harris happy. You know, everybody, including Fox. You know, apparently the Democrats are owned by China, and apparently it seems like the media is owned by China as well. I'm telling you, they're doing a great job.
Yes.
Screwing us over, man. This is really sickening. You know, I don't know how we're going to combat that when you have
because those forms of media are irrelevant. I was trying to tell, you know, please excuse me for being frustrated for people, because I love all you guys, right? You're our listeners, right? You know, I don't dislike any of, even the liberal jerks. You guys support the show and everything else, and I don't mean to lose my cool with people. You know, like you heard Joellen, she was all worked up, you know, because I was talking about her. But they've always had the media on their side. They've always played dirty tricks. And Donald Trump is using new forms of media, like he's going to influencers. This thing with this interview that he's doing on Monday with Elon Musk, 100 million people are going to see that. The whole world's going to be talking about it. Okay? And he's doing a lot of things that we don't see because he's talking to people that we don't watch. It's a waste of time for Donald Trump to go on any of the mainstream media. The people that watch that are either going to vote for him or not. There's nothing he can do to change that. He's spending his time talking to different types of people. As an example, different types of media. As an example, with JD yesterday, I was talking in the first hour about this. He was in Wisconsin. He had a press conference at the campaign stop. He only took questions from local media. And the reason he did that is because the national media, that audience is already decided. He took questions only from local media, TV, newspapers, whatever they got. That means J.D. Vance in Wisconsin was on all the local media throughout the state yesterday. And those people don't normally follow politics and are not necessarily decided. It was a very smart move.
I can understand that, you know, sometimes the Democrats would have the media behind them because they were, you know, somewhat in the middle. But now the country's been destroyed by them. And these two wackos that they have running here.
Look, Doug, you're older than me, but you were probably very young during Watergate. You know, I was a baby, but that was look what the media did, right? The media pushed the vice president and the president both resigned from office, and they had that whole BS scandal. Nixon had nothing to do with the break-in. Nobody knows that, and the media ran him out of office. Right? And we came back in 1980 with Ronald Reagan. The media have always been activist against whoever the Republican is, except Eisenhower.
Yeah, well, I 100% agree. But the country's in such bad shape because of these people. You would think that the media would say, all right, you know, we can't be behind this. This is too far gone. But
when has the mainstream media been fair to a Republican running for president? Can you think of it?
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Yeah, that's true. They don't like it.
Remember when George Bush went AWOL from the Texas Air National Guard, and they had the memo and everything. Turned out it was fake. It was, remember that they did a forensic investigation on the font. It was from a Microsoft Word document which didn't exist in the 70s, but they ran for months that he was AWOL from the Texas Air National Guard. You know, Bill Clinton, okay? When Bill Clinton ran in 92, you guys may not remember because he's like Skeletor now, but he was fat, right? He was fat. But he had this thing that he was jogging all the time, and it made no sense because he was jogging all the time. Why hasn't he lost weight? And the media were talking about how they were going to put in a track at the White House so he could still run when he was in office. And they were, oh, look, he comes in, he had the sweatsuit. And it was reported at the time. But the mainstream media didn't pick this up. He didn't run at all. His car parked at the end of the street. He'd get out of the car. His security were state troopers. They would pour cups of water on him to make it look like he was sweating. And this was known by conservatives, but the mainstream media, even though they were there and witnessed it, never reported it. And we're better off now because these things I'm talking about. The reason why are you talking about this stuff so long ago? There was no internet or alt media to speak of back then, and we still won. Now we have alt media with more people watching it than they have. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that luckily for us, we have the internet to let us be informed and really know.
Reaching more people. So that's it. All right, I got to run. I'm late for the break. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and try to get back on schedule. I'm off the break schedule as usual. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, man. Okay.
Restaurants are now open here in Palm Beach County. Serving the hottest breakfast in town at any of their 3 locations: Boca Raton, Delray, and Wellington. Daily baked scones, signature custom skillets, made from scratch, giant pancakes and waffles. I could go on and on. Skillets even offers a summer budget menu, and kids eat free on Tuesdays. You can't beat this breakfast. Skillets is proof. You don't need to be at home for a made-from-scratch meal and to be treated like family. Skillets guests rave as Palm Beach's friendliest staff and best breakfast. Come find out for yourself. Get more information.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Skillets at skilletsrestaurants.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hey, my True Oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are 2 big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
Now, a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back.
dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling.
Hey guys, make sure that you like the video if you don't mind. There's over 1,300 of you in the live stream, and only a handful of you have liked the video, so please like the video. All right, we're going to get back into it. So much going on here. I want to bring up I'm going to get into the video now that I've been referencing, and then some more.
In the heat of the summer, act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Hey everyone, Brian Craig here. You asked Mike Lindell and he listened. Mike's offering the queen size MyPillow for just $19.98 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Plus, you can get the 6-piece MyPillow towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new MyPillow mattress topper as low as $69.98. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code KANE for these huge discounts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, it is coming up on 37 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. Okay, let me get to some of this audio. First one I want to play is with Kamala, and then there's a new one on Walz. And if you're on hold, stand by, okay, because I want to get some of this stuff out. And we've had, by the way, spectacular calls on the program today. We have had spectacular calls, and we haven't heard from any liberals celebrating Kamala. I can understand why, but a lot of passion on the phones today, which is good. Kamala Harris was talking earlier. I've not been able to find a photograph or a video of her in a courtroom arguing a case in front of a jury or in any other form. If anybody has any of that, send it to me. But she gave an interview in 2010 that is recently resurfaced that is pretty scary, especially in this era of lawfare that we're in with President Trump. Listen to this, and this may actually be a confession being made by Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, it's 2010. She was the prosecutor. She wasn't Attorney General. She was the prosecutor in San Francisco. Listen to what she says.
Have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible. And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus. All because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later. It's an incredible amount of power. And you want to make sure that the people who have this kind of power are taking seriously the responsibility.
Yeah, that's her. So she's talking about the lawfare that's going on against President Trump. I think we need to start looking into some of the cases she's prosecuted and drop the charges and find out if she was harassing opponents like they're doing now against President Trump and many people around him. She may be the architect of the lawfare. This video right here, I've never heard a public official talk that way. She's talking about misusing her authority as a prosecutor and how she can destroy someone's life with just a pen and choose to let them get away, just make it go away if she chooses or not. And she can send them up the river too. In the era of lawfare that we're in against President Trump, this is the type of thing that if it was reversed and was a Republican, the whole world would shut down. They'd have all those news sounders out for that too. Ooh, look at this. Lawfare from the Republican. Kamala says that the media don't cover it. She's a very dangerous, dangerous person. Now, the stolen valor with, if you're on hold, well, let me take a call or two. Then I'll play the new video from Walz, which also is a confession. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, Brian? My name is Howard. I'm calling from Sunrise, Florida.
Hey, Howard.
I may get Tires Plus, Wings.
No, you mean Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire and Wings Plus. Yes, Friendly Tire, not the other place. Friendly Tire and Wings Plus. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, listen, man. What you were saying about the liberals with a swipe of a pen. You know what? They get a job. They're in there for years. Nobody fires them. It's ridiculous, and we're paying for their salary. Come on, man. Really? I mean, you know, like you said, a swipe of a pen, and she's laughing about it.
Yeah.
What he's like.
Yeah.
I just wanted to...
Well, I appreciate it. Good to hear. I remember you, Howard, very well. I remember you at Wings Plus, too. Who could forget that one? Okay, take care. Oh, my goodness. Any of you guys remember Howard from Wings Plus? I'm not going to explain what happened, but Steve and I were doing an appearance at Wings Plus, and I was live streaming it on, I don't remember if it was YouTube or something else, and Howard had a few too many, and it was pretty interesting. But I did run into him recently at Friendly Tire. He was over there getting some tire repairs, and looks like he's off the sauce. Okay, so, Kamala Harris bragging about how she can destroy people's lives with just a pen, okay? See, this is why she doesn't take any questions from anyone. She's got too much to hide. And, the thing about Kamala, she's not just hiding these things that we know about. Can you imagine what she's done that we don't know about, that she's afraid that we'll talk about or be asked about? Oh, my goodness. So Walz, there's a new tape with Walz. And this one, oh, boy. This one is a textbook example of stolen valor. And let me play it. I'll play it uninterrupted. You may have to turn the volume of whatever you're listening to me on up a little bit. And the key point, it's a 30-second video. The key point comes in towards the end.
Pope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and Dad said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are.
Okay, did you hear it right at the end? Hear it?
Research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons...
Those weapons of war that I carried in war. That's it. He said it. Those weapons of war that I carried in war. He's lying about being in combat right there. That's stolen valor. Textbook stolen valor. Okay? And I'll tell you, he's talking to a group in a breakout room. It looks like at a hotel or something. This is a stump speech he was giving. Okay? So what I would imagine, he said this a lot. He probably said this hundreds of times to hundreds of different groups. It's only a matter of time before more and more videos from him stumping around Minnesota come out when him using that same line. Weapons of war that I carried to war. Stolen valor. Remember, guys in his unit died, the unit he abandoned when they got the combat orders. Men in that unit were killed, but he wasn't there to be with them. But he's claiming that he was. We'll take our last break of the second hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. We haven't heard from any liberals today. I mean, what do you have to say for yourselves and your candidates? Pretty pathetic, isn't it? We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All righty, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. What do you have for us today?
Well, the question is, would we rather have an estate plan that protects our assets during our lifetime or one that does not protect our assets during our lifetime? And when I'm talking about protecting our assets, I'm talking about from the cost of long-term care, which is the biggest threat we have during our retirement years, our senior years, because that cost can be so high, and there's a 50% chance that each of us may need care. And if we need care, that cost can be debilitating to our finances if we don't have a plan. And the plan needs to be either to have long-term care insurance or to qualify for government benefit, which is Medicaid. And to qualify for Medicaid, even though as elder law attorneys, we are able to help most people qualify, it's not guaranteed. And so there are things that need to be in people's estate planning documents that could make the difference between qualifying and not qualifying. But if you don't have it at the time that you need to qualify, later on in life, let's say, then you may be in a situation where you cannot qualify when you otherwise could have.
Mm-hmm.
You thus have been in a situation where you could have let Medicaid pay the bulk of the cost of your long-term care instead of spending down your assets. So an estate plan that works is one that protects your assets during your lifetime, not one that lacks this language and allows you to spend down those assets, because what good is that estate plan if you run out of money during your lifetime?
Yeah. You talk about Medicaid planning. It's Medicaid planning. And most people, when they hear Medicaid, they think that's for very low-income people that are without means and have nothing. I bet you people are shocked when they're in your office, Barry, and you tell them that they qualify for this Medicaid planning. People must be shocked all the time.
And people automatically just mute out the conversation about Medicaid.
Yeah.
This does not apply to me. And then they realize that they can get it, and that big concern that they had, that big worry that they had that they were going to have to pay for all of this care out of their own pocket is relief when they get this information that this can be taken care of for them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So listen, give the Siegel Law Group a call. Remember to mention that you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. Then you get to take advantage of the no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. Their number toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is...
All right, so I got some more information on this Walz video. Welcome back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. So a new video has come out of Walz talking to a group of people claiming to have served in combat. Listen. Oh, let me cue it up. Here we go.
Research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
Okay, those weapons of war that I carried in war. He's claiming to be a combat veteran now. Greg Kelly of Newsmax. He's my favorite in cable news, Greg Kelly. I love Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly posted this video to X. And, he's a veteran. I think he's a Marine. He's definitely a pilot. And I'm pretty sure he's a Marine pilot. But Greg Kelly posted this video and then wrote this. Waltz just broke federal law in boasting about going to war that he actually skipped. Timmy Waltz is in violation of the Stolen Valor Act of 2013. Penalty, 1 year in jail. Then he finishes at Greg Kelly, prosecute now. You know, there was a trend, I don't know, about 10 or so years ago, there was an organization of veterans. Their whole existence was exposing stolen valor people. They started doing it with Medal of Honor people. There were a lot of these fake Medal of Honor winners. But then they would start finding people that were going to public events. Sometimes they were just shopping at malls, and they would be in uniforms, and everything would be all messed up, and they would expose them as stolen valor. And what I remember about that is there was one video in particular. There was a guy Christmas shopping with his son, and he just happened to be in a store at the mall, and one of these stolen valor guys was there, and he confronted him. Do any of you remember this? It was brutal. Veterans, let me tell you, the worst thing you can do to a veteran is stolen valor. I've seen veterans get livid beyond description over it. It's the worst thing. You could call their wife nasty names, they'd get pissed, but not as much as that stolen valor. And this guy, he's been doing it for years. He'll never apologize. Never will he apologize. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Lewis from Flint.
Hey.
Yeah. Has anyone talked about something called a DD 214?
Oh, that's what you get when you get out of the service?
Correct. Pretty much that's a timestamp of everywhere you've been in training and non-training status in the military for any branch, and that'll fill in every freaking gap and every question that everyone has.
Well, it's already been done on Waltz because he's been doing this for many years, and there's been a group of veterans in Minnesota that have been trying to expose him for 5 years or more. So they already have everything, all the documents. That's why so much is coming out so quickly about it.
Yeah, there's more going to come out, but it's truly disgusting. I mean, I was in the Army. I served 6 years, but I was a reservist, so I don't go around claiming. When people ask me, oh, you're a veteran, I go, well, technically I served, but I'm not technically a veteran. And then they go, oh, I go, so 6 years, yeah, but I was a reservist. I wasn't like full-time. But still, I went through the same boot camp and all, but I don't claim certain things that other soldiers got.
You know, I have seen, and I'm sure you've seen this, when I have seen veterans run into somebody who's doing stolen valor, like I remember there was one guy that was in his Marine Corps dress blues, and he had like the wrong rank, he had rank from a different service and the ribbon, and he was wearing sunglasses and all this stuff, and he was confronted by this veteran. And when veterans confront people that are committing stolen valor, they don't just get angry beyond imagination. There's a physical reaction that they have. I mean, they get livid.
Well, that's where I am right now, and I would feel this way whether it was a Republican or a Democrat doing this. It's unconscionable, and it's really sad and disgusting.
Well, why do you think Kamala Harris and her team picked this guy? They had to know about this. There's no way you could not know about this.
Yeah, of course they knew. He's a puppet. He just doesn't overshadow her, and he's not going to overpower her. He's just a puppet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. I appreciate the call. You know, the thing about Walz and this stolen valor. Okay. This is the problem with them skipping the primary. If this would have come out a little earlier, he never would have been picked. Okay. Like if he was running in the primaries and she was running in the primaries, he'd be already out. So now they're too close. They can't get rid of him now. They're stuck with him. Okay? So they're going to have to ride this out. And I've been watching some of the coverage. Like Pelosi was on MSNBC yesterday, and she says, well, was J.D. Vance in combat? J.D. Vance was, or just the day before yesterday, J.D. Vance was a correspondent in the Marine Corps in Iraq. And wartime correspondence it's a dangerous job. Anybody know Ernie Pyle? Okay? Look him up if you don't know. Not Gomer Pyle, Ernie Pyle. Okay? Look up Ernie Pyle. And you'll see how dangerous it is to be a combat correspondent, as J.D. Vance was. But regardless of all that, they're too close to the convention to replace him now. They're dug in with this guy. So the campaign, what they're doing and what the Democrats are doing is excusing it. They're trying to make it sound like a technicality. There's one video that came out. I got to do some more investigating on this. It came out early this morning. I saw it before I went on. It was on C-SPAN where he's making the claim, and now they're saying that's a deep fake. So you have to be very careful because it looks like Democrats. What Democrats like to do whenever they get busted? They lie. They lie. They love to lie. So this, I don't know if this is deep fake or not. I've seen both versions of it. It very well may be. This new one. Not the one I played, this new one. I've not played it. The Democrats very likely are going to start flooding the internet with deep fake examples of him being altered to make it sound like he's claiming stolen valor when he didn't, to try to discredit that he's been doing it all these years, okay? So you got to be very careful when you see something. There was a Bloomberg News had a bio of him that called him an Iraq veteran, and then they changed it and put Italy in place of Iraq, okay? They said he served in Iraq, then they changed it to Italy. They got busted with that yesterday. So there's a lot of effort being done by the Democrats and their liberal media allies to do defense because they're too close to the convention to do anything about it. I mean, and if he apologized and they made him come out and have a press conference, it would make it worse because the veterans, rightly so, would take that as a confession of years of fraud that he's been committing about it, and it would make it worse for them. So this is not going anywhere. And veterans are going to start to show up and protest this guy. Now, I want to end this hour with this story. I started this at 6, but this is a big story that is not getting coverage, and I want to share it for context. And Steve will be joining us after the top. Kamala's campaign event. A lot of people showed up at that. It was another free concert that they put on, okay? This one, was just like, remember in Atlanta, they had the twerking girl? This one yesterday in Wisconsin, it was a Grammy award-winning band, and the lead singer's hometown is the town where the event was. And he performed before Kamala. So they filled up the venue. They filled up the venue with his fans. He performed. And then they brought her out. And I've seen photographs. Some people that were there were showing photographs. It was amazing. Behind Kamala, you see people holding up the Kamala waltz signs, okay? But in the crowd that she's facing, there's hardly a sign because they weren't there for the campaign. They were there for the free concert with their hometown hero, the lead singer of that Grammy Award-winning band. The other thing is this. I'm not sure that this incident of her shouting down protesters, they're telling us that these were pro-terrorist protesters, they wouldn't shut up and she barked at them, which seems insane to me that a candidate would yell at their supporters. I'm wondering if those people that were making that ruckus in the crowd were not these pro-terrorist demonstrators, but were people that were there for the free music and they were pissed that they got tricked in to hearing Kamala speak. I don't know. It very well may be that. Now, I want to tell you guys that if you're in pain, hey, tomorrow's Friday, the weekend's almost here. If you're in pain, you don't have to be. Go see Dr. Appleton. Take advantage of his laser away pain treatment. It works. His laser away pain treatment, it repairs the damage that's causing you the pain. That's why when he's treated me for 5 different types of pain, the pain is gone and hasn't returned, because Dr. Appleton repaired what was wrong with me that was causing the pain. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. It's absolutely amazing. There's no shots, no injections, no downtime, no surgery. It's 100% painless. And yeah, the best part, it works. That's why I'm pain-free now. Give Dr. Appleton a call. And remember, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, 2 hours have flown by. 1 more hour to go. Steve Kane will be joining us after the top of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. We'll be back after the top of the hour with Steve Kane and your calls after this.
Jupiter, Palm Beach, and West Palm. A road closure with construction in Boynton Beach, Lawrence Road, between Hypoluxo Road and Lantana Road. You can take Military Trail as your alternate. This traffic update is sponsored by Qdoba. Stake it up a notch with the new Habanero.
He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what?
Order today at Qdoba.com or download the app. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic.
I'm pulling.
Of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
I pulled up the section where she's yelling at the crowd. So I'm going to play it, and you guys, you can call in. Let me know. Do you think she's yelling at pro-Palestinian terrorist protesters or the music fans? She's really pissed. You can see it in her face. She is livid. I got 2 new MAGA hats that are out for delivery that I saw. There's a new one that Trump has. It's orange. It's orange instead of red. It says Make America Great Again. And then there's another one, the white one with the black writing. I got coming today. And I got the black one now, which is the dark MAGA. I just got an email that they're out for delivery.
With your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, IWillAdvisors.com. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. The third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Yes, how are you?
Okay, so I want to, before we get into what you got on your mind there, I want to get back to this thing with the Kamala event yesterday, because this is the big story. That there's two things with Kamala today. I will replay the tape of her confessing to prosecutorial misconduct coming up. I'll play that again in this hour. You know, what I try to do every day are share with you the things that the media are covering up. Okay? I try to do that. I think I do that most days because they don't want to report any truth. I watched Kamala a little bit speaking yesterday. Did you see any of it? Okay. Well, okay. She had this speech in Wisconsin. There were thousands in attendance. It looked like a Trump rally almost in size. It was outside, thousands and thousands of people. And I was like, oh, well, I guess that, there's more Democrats than I thought. And then we find out it was a concert, another free concert by a folk band that has won a Grammy, Bon Iver, and the lead singer of the group, that was his hometown. That's where he went to kindergarten all the way up through the high school, okay? It was his hometown. So they sent out word in the town that their hometown hero is going to be performing for free at this event, and people showed up for it, okay? And he performed. And then after he performed, Kamala came out to talk. And no. They had that happen before, and they did something that made it difficult for people to get out when the performance was over, because they didn't want to have the people walking out on her speaking again. And by the way, if you want to fact check me, there's an article covering all of this in the Gateway Pundit, and I posted it on my Twitter, X, okay? Brian Craig Show on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, okay? If you watch the rally, the people behind her, they all have Harris Walz signs, right? They all have signs promoting Kamala Harris, the people behind her. But some that were there were showing the crowd that she was looking at, there's hardly any signs there because they were there for the free concert, okay? And this is not being reported anywhere outside the Gateway Pundit in here. And this is exactly what she did in Atlanta. Remember, she had the twerking hip-hop act come out. So then she was being heckled. And let me pull up the audio. Let me pull this up. Okay, I pulled up the clip. She got angry at the crowd and shut them down, Kamala, at these hecklers. It's being reported that these are pro-Hamas terrorist Palestinian protesters. Let me play the exchange. You hear some ruckus, and then you hear Kamala get ticked off.
To surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Okay, now you're going to hear that all over the news. I don't think these were Palestinian protesters. I think these were fans of that Grammy Award-winning singer right there in the singer's hometown, and they were pissed off that they were having a hard time getting out of there. And they had to listen to this old lady give a speech when they were there for the free concert. Okay? All you can hear are people that are upset. I don't hear any clear audio of people talking about free Palestine. It didn't sound like they were chanting free Palestine to me. You know?
Good miss.
Well, it sounds like we've busted her again. You know, a fake rally. They weren't there for her. And, and the Democrats, they don't want to have the video of the people walking out last time, so they made it difficult for them to get out until she was done. The one thing I didn't watch her speak for long, because I can't stand her, okay? I couldn't stand watching her talk, but I wanted to see how she sounded, and I wish I would have now, because I'd like to know how long she spoke. Her last event, she spoke for like 15, 16 minutes. Trump talks for 2.5, 3 hours. I'd like to know how long she spoke yesterday. Was it the same, like 16 minutes? Because she has to get out of there because the crowd's getting upset and they want to leave. And she wants to be done before they start leaving, right? So if anybody knows how long she spoke, I'd be interested in knowing that. But this wave of popularity that they're telling us that Kamala Harris has just does not exist. It's a lie. If she had the popularity that they're claiming, they wouldn't have to put on free concerts. Okay? There would really be people showing up, and they don't. The only people they have for her are the ones right behind her for the most part, and who knows who they are. They could be family of campaign staff for all I know. They could be campaign staff from Wisconsin. I don't know who they are, but I do know this. That was a free concert. Again, just like Obama in 2008, some of the same people are with Kamala. And you know how criminals are. They got a pattern. They got something they're comfortable with. What do they call it? A signature. That's how they do it. Criminals, when they do crime, they do the same crime. They do it all over in the exact same way. And that's what's going on here. So your thoughts on that certainly are welcome. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. Did you have anything you wanted to go into, Steve? Or
well, this is.
I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, how if you know?
I'm just no thoughts.
No thoughts. Oh my gosh.
It's mind blowing.
Well, you know, it is mind blowing because the press corps are there and none of them report any of this. You know, we find out from some conservatives that happen to be there, a handful of conservatives that are there from some of the conservative outlets. But with the media are involved, as they always are, in a cover-up of everything the Democrats do. Like when John Edwards impregnated the campaign worker, right? They didn't report that either. And his wife had cancer. He was married. His wife had cancer, and he's impregnated a campaign worker on the presidential campaign. I mean, come on. You know, and they didn't report that until after everything was over. You know, so, you know, this is what happens. So then the other, I got one more thing on Kamala, and then I'll go back to the new Walz thing. This is what I consider to be a confession of Kamala Harris committing prosecutorial misconduct. I've got to say that slow because I can't even say it a second time. But she's confessing, I believe, to committing lawfare when she was a prosecutor.
Power I have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible. And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus. All because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later.
Wow. Sounds like she's detailing what they're doing to Trump.
No way.
I mean, my goodness. She's talking about how by the way, she was a prosecutor at the time. This was in 2010, right? I think we need to look into cases where she charged people and then dropped the charges within a couple of weeks. Because it sounds like if she didn't like someone, she would destroy their lives.
No, it isn't.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, this...
I don't want, because time is limited, I don't want to lose the Walz thing.
We're not going to lose him. Are you kidding? We've got 3 months of him. After the election, we'll forget about him because he'll be out. But his...
Well, let's begin speculating as to whether she is going to survive this. Will survive?
No, they're done. Her campaign is over before it's begun. This stolen valor, this idea that she's going to go through this without any interviews, taking any questions, or a press conference. Now he's got to hide from the media because of this stolen valor. I mean, how can they get elected on a national ticket when they're hiding? I saw, you know, when I knew Walz was in trouble is he was in front of the plane yesterday on the runway, on the tarmac, and reporters were yelling at him questions because he was too far away and they had the jet engines idling about the stolen valor. And he ignored it and walked away, pretended to not hear them. And I cannot remember the last time I saw reporters shouting controversial, scandalous questions to a Democrat during a campaign. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. Maybe I haven't, but it's been a long time. So when you have the media screaming the question at him about stolen valor and he ignores it, he's done. He's done. But what are they going to do about it, Steve? They can't replace him. We're less than 3 months away from the election. The convention is what's today? The convention's in 11 days. How is she going to come out and say exactly? So they're stuck with it.
It's mind-blowing, no question.
It certainly is that. All right, now, I want to tell you guys, this is an amazing thing. The free shipping offer is back for a limited time with our promo code Kane, of course, Kane, at mypillow.com. It's free shipping on all orders over $75. That's site-wide, okay? No matter what you order, it's free shipping with our promo code Kane on all orders over $75. And the $25 extravaganza continues. It's a great time to do your Christmas shopping here in August. My wife and I have already started because there's so many items that are just $25. The MyPillow towels, the MyPillow sheets, the MyPillow bath towels, dish towels, MyPillow Giza cotton pillows, the American flag pillows, the MyPillow slippers and sandals, the MyPillow dog beds, the MyPillow blankets, the MyPillow beach towels, and it goes on and on and on. There's a whole bunch of items that are just $25. You buy 3 of them, you got the free shipping, right? Mattress topper, 50% off. That comes with free shipping. It's an amazing offer. The free shipping offer is back for a limited time, and it's a great time to load up. So go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back.
Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Do you suffer from maybe you do and you don't even know it? Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance?
I think, what do you guys think? I think she's yelling at the music fans, not Palestinian supporters. What do you guys think? Because I don't hear any free Palestine or any of that crap.
Literally wrote the foreword for the architect of the project.
Wow, that peacock is making all kinds of noise. They're waiting to get fed. Stay away from my car, peacocks.
Or 604-4602 and online, LaportaContracting.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 93 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Now, Biden said something yesterday that you haven't heard from him in a while, right? He was asked about the peaceful transfer of power. Did you see this? Oh, let me play this. This is insane.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me cue it up. Hold on. Here we go.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all.
What the heck? What does that mean? Is he going to order in the troops to stop President Trump? What does he mean that if Trump wins, it's not going to be peaceful? You sure? How do you know?
Sure, I'm not sure.
You hope he misspoke.
It's the only way it really makes sense.
No, well, these are Democrats.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all. I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all. Everything he says, we don't take him seriously.
Oh, my goodness. Give that man the nuclear football, please. I mean, my goodness. He corrected himself. No, it's not. I mean, it's frightening is what it is. Yeah. No, it is frightening.
Ways of scary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. I mean, but this pick with Walz, I mean, this is the third day of Walz, right? I have yet to hear anything about Walz that is positive, even for Democrats.
It's going to take off. Of all the...
Well, it's day 3. I mean, I've been talking about it all day, but it's...
I mean, I think that's the one that's going to explode the biggest.
Oh, the stolen valor?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
These guys, these military folk get very unhinged.
Well, they should. And it's not just the stolen valor. The fact that when his outfit got called up for combat, he dropped out and let them go without him. Right? And then well, he had 500 men under his command. Some of them didn't make it back. Some of them died. They were killed. And he's claiming that he was with them. No, he's done with that. That is, they can't drop him. They're married to him, but they're stuck with that. They can't. If he apologizes, the military guys that are already after him, then they're going to want him to resign. They're going to want him to resign as governor. And
happy ending here.
No. So they can't. He cannot apologize. They can't get rid of him. It's too close to the convention, and it's going to continue to build and build. This new clip that I found that I played earlier. I'll play it again. It's him claiming to be in combat, and this one, he's speaking to a group. It's obviously that he was in combat as part of his stump speech. He's taken it out of it lately because he's getting a lot of national attention. But when he was just in Minnesota, see, you can be a big fish in a small pond and get away with a lot. But once you're on the national stage, it's a whole nother deal. And I'm going to play this clip. He's speaking to a group, and my guess is this is part of his stump speech, which means he's been saying this for years. And there's only one video of it now, but that's all it takes, because this is him confessing stolen valor. But it's only a matter of time before we have 5, 10, or 20 of them.
There's no off-ramp for him. That's the problem. There's no way for him to end it.
No, because if he apologizes, they're going to want him to resign as governor.
If he does, damned if he does.
Yeah, so let me play. This is the confession. Oh, this is insane.
We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry.
Oh, what happened? What happened there? I just lost the audio. What happened? That shouldn't have happened. Hold on. I'm going to have to reboot and play it again after the next break. I lost the audio. Maybe they're trying to disappear it from the internet, Steve. It's too late. It's out there. All right, let's take a call while I'm trying to get that queued back up. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian. How are you today?
All right.
On this thing where they go to, they're seeing the concert and they can't get up, getting out. Wouldn't that be in violation of the fire code for holding up? Do we have to have a safety for the crowd?
You're talking about a woman who was bragging in an interview that with a pen she can destroy someone's life by charging them with crimes they haven't committed. You think she cares about the fire marshal?
No, and I don't think the fire marshal would even bring charges against her.
The fire marshal's probably is a Democrat.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. On the stolen valor thing, I know I've seen it a couple of times. There's a Navy SEAL who has a podcast where he just goes around outing people who are pretending to be fake Navy. And he confronts them in public, and he brings them and proves that they were never even in the military to begin. They're pretending they're Navy SEAls, and it's
well, see what they're trying to get away with. Usually, stolen valor are with people that never were in the military, and most oftentimes they get caught because they were never in the military. They got their uniforms on Amazon. The uniforms are wrong. They got rank insignias for other countries on their and all kinds of stuff. This one's a little different in that he was actually in the military, okay, for 24 years. But what he did at the end was a disgrace. Okay, I got the clip again. This is him claiming to be a combat veteran.
CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons...
Those weapons of war that I carried in war, that's it. It's over.
I don't know. I mean, this guy for a VP candidate, or actually he's on the ticket now. I mean, I think this guy may be the worst I've seen.
Oh.
Is there an exit for him?
No.
I think so.
Steve, first of all, Greg Kelly says what he's doing here is a federal crime, punishable by a year in jail. Okay? So if he apologizes, that's a confession. He's confessing to a crime, and they're going to make a move to get him out as governor after he loses this election. So he'll never apologize.
The bottom line on the whole thing is that it boils down to an incredible reflection on Pamela, on Cam's.
Cam, yeah, I like that. Kamala. You know, the thing about this guy, Donald Trump could not have picked a better running mate for Kamala Harris than this guy. I mean, he's the worst. I mean, there's you know, I was telling you yesterday, there's not a single redeeming quality for the campaign for him. He's from a blue state. He's got all this baggage. You know, the stolen valor is the worst. And this thing, yeah.
An audio tape. We have a video tape in his own words, and maybe
correct
to a public crowd.
But like I said, you got to be careful. They've got a deep fake of another interview that they altered of him saying it to try. You got to be, when you see videos of him, before you share them, verify them, because the Democrats are circling their wagons around him. They're supporting him, and they're involved in an online misinformation campaign by putting out deep fakes.
Wow. You know, this party will do anything to win this election. We have to be very cognizant of it, and but this guy is really off the deep end.
Well, if the vice presidential debate between him and J.D. Vance will be all about this.
Yes, and he's coming from a group because he's an ex Marine, out of that. He's got a great platform to bring this up.
Oh,
put this guy on the hot seat for this.
Yeah, I mean, and the stolen valor, exposing stolen valor was a big thing a few years ago, but the stolen valor people have kind of been out of the loop for a while, and now that they've got something to be active about again, they're there.
Basically, he just outs fake Navy SEAls.
Yeah, I've seen that guy, and there's another group that goes after the stolen valor Medal of Honor guys.
See that one?
Oh yeah, that's great. But they go into other people too. And this guy wants to be vice president of the United States, and he abandoned his men. He's yellow. Some of his men died that he abandoned and let them go off to combat alone. And he claimed that he was with them in combat. You heard him. Weapons of war that I carried in war. That's it.
Anybody interview the guy that had to go in his stead?
He's been all over the place. I played some of that yesterday on the program. And, you know, I saw him last night. I think it was on Laura Ingraham. And she said, well, you know, he served for 24 years. You know, he said you can have 24 years of mediocre service and then at the end be a disgrace.
Yes. I did catch that part.
And I thought that was a pretty smart take that guy had. And
then they have a comeback from this, and this guy looks like a guy with psychological problems.
Well, I don't think the Democrats realize
all kinds of other avenues to explore with this guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what is it? The
Tampon Tim or something.
But the stolen valor, you know, a lot of these other things are true and they're bad, and you know, but they're kind of more like punchlines. The stolen valor, the Democrats are so anti-military. I don't think they realize how offensive stolen valor is.
Oh, I think they're about to find out.
Well, they're, you know, it hasn't soaked in yet because even Pelosi was on TV making excuses for him yesterday. So
excuses will work this time. This one.
Well, and if they got him, they got her.
Absolutely.
All right, take care. Appreciate the call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the All Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Thursday, August 8th, 2024, and right now it's 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, we're going to be in a heat advisory effect until 6 p.m. tonight with cloudy skies throughout the day.
Carry among state, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are.
AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyourcooling.com to schedule your service today.
Hello, you've reached the Department of Public Safety Stay-at-Home Hotline. The information you leave is considered public information. At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how a stay-at-home order is being violated.
Oh my gosh. That's his COVID snitch line.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the Poker Room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments like the $100,000 guarantee Monster Multi-Flight Tournament.
My Pillow towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new My Pillow mattress topper as low as $69.98. Go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code Kane for these huge discounts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and its radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARI, to educate the public about medical marijuana use, as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmri.famu.edu.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you're not This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez, at the Fire Station West LA. Hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. Feel younger, have more energy, get your sex drive back. Hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Loose sweats gone. Night sweats gone. I'm real listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez. When I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one was like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez. You tell him you heard about it on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we're back. We got an announcement from President Trump, Steve. President Trump has just announced moments ago a 2 p.m. news conference at Mar-a-Lago. Just announced this. Now, this is highly unusual. Well, Florida, yeah. This is very, very unusual for a presidential candidate to have a press conference. And the time that he's doing it, 2 p.m. in Florida, it's pretty hot. I don't know what it's about. He says a general news conference. I don't know what it'll... He says, I will be doing a general news conference at 2 p.m. at Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach. Thank you. Posted it on True Social. He'll be taking questions. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on...
City.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, I want to talk just a smidge more about this this quack waltz about this stolen valor. And I do want to mention Stolen Valors Act of 2005 and the amended one of 2013, where you gain benefits from lying about your service, which I think he has, and I do hope that this gets traction, from whoever up that's running. But that, like you were saying, it is a prosecutable offense. Up by a year, but still, that was even more time.
That's right.
A record. But the other thing that I also wanted to talk about that it bothers me that where our society is going is him passing that bill in Minnesota or wherever he's from, stating that the kids can come there and have their sex changes and all this, and they're kids. And where are we going as a society with this? It's just...
Well, I'll tell you the thing about this guy, okay? I talked about this early on yesterday. I believe he's a Chinese spy, okay? He went for his honeymoon in Tiananmen Square. Who the heck does that? I mean, they murdered people in Tiananmen Square. Communist. Yeah, Chinese communist, that's who. He's traveled there over 30 times. He had this travel student thing he was doing that was sponsored and paid for by the Chinese government. He's been promoting the communist all this time. And I've heard some interviews with residents of Minnesota who say he was always a Democrat, but he used to be much more reasonable. Now he's wackadoodle last few years. I think it was undercover. And then when Black Lives Matter and Antifa and that radicalism became in vogue, he came out of the closet. I think he's working for China. I think he was picked not by Pelosi but by China. And even after he loses, he's a national figure now. Everybody knows his name. So he's a big deal among very liberal circles. And I think that's what he's all about, really. I don't think he has any plans on winning this.
Well, as a disabled vet, and I proudly serve my country, and I'd do it again if I could, when you go through the basic training and basically get molded to a military way of life, and you have your supposedly fearless leader getting you prepared to go into a conflict they did, which I can't even fathom because I wasn't there. I can't imagine what they went through over there. And then to up and have him just, I think that I'll be better served going for Congress or whatever. That is such a kick in the gut. And like you were saying earlier to another caller, he lost guys over there.
Yep.
Let's talk about that. It's just Trump has to win. And that's all there is to it. He has.
But I'll tell you, not all veterans are conservative MAGA Republicans, and a lot of them are Democrats. I have never seen an issue like stolen valor that's as nonpartisan, crossing party lines as that. Veterans, regardless of their political background, get livid over stolen valor. It is a big freaking deal. Yeah. So this doesn't just hurt him with conservative Trump supporting veterans. I think it hurts him with Democrat veterans too.
Well, I appreciate everything that you do on here. Make sure you keep those hurricanes down that way. We don't need another Michael coming up here.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. He also, Walz, put in a COVID snitch line in Minnesota. Did you hear about how he did? Yeah, I'm gonna play the recording from the snitch line. And what the snitch line is about, during the lockdowns, if you saw someone violate COVID restrictions and lockdowns, you were to, report them. Like you lived in East Berlin during the Soviet Union era. You're supposed to report people. They don't have a mask on. They left their house. And they had a COVID snitch line that Walz set up. Let me play it. This is insane. That this happened in America, right? I mean, this is literally Iron Curtain stuff. Oh, let me cue it up here. Hold on.
Hello, you have reached the Department of Public Safety stay-at-home hotline. The information you leave is considered public information. At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how the stay-at-home order is being violated, and where the stay-at-home order was violated. Thank you.
Wow. Report your neighbors. Yeah, or Hitler, or Castro, or Stalin. I mean, no. Report your neighbors. And stay-at-home orders, what does that mean? Does that mean going to the gas station? Does it mean to go out and get food to feed your family?
Stay at home.
Yeah, but you got to get food for your family. Okay. Yeah. The guy, even if Kamala were a credible candidate, which she is not, she would still lose with this guy because people would not take a chance on somebody like this possibly having to step in to be the president.
The one issue that hasn't received the attention, I don't know, I was going to say hasn't received the attention it should, is the anger of the press. Ordinarily, this is the kind of thing that the press would get behind cleaning up.
Yeah. They're not angry, though.
Well, the day is young.
Steve, this is day 3. This came out the day that, yeah.
Does it sound bizarre to think that maybe the worst is not behind us?
No, this is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to grow. Yeah.
Exactly. Who knows what it's going to look like tomorrow at this time?
Only thing I've seen from the press is covering up and diversions.
That's so far. Now, we've got a lot of forces.
That's true.
Working.
We do.
Oppose this.
We do. All right, we'll take our break and be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered.
All righty, it's time for the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. On the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. We have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, how the metals starting the day off?
Just starting up strong again. The market yesterday pushing back a little bit, down $7.80 after trading in a range of $2,378 all the way up to $2,407, closing out the day at $23.82.90. That was up or down $7.80. Silver was down 37 cents at $26.60, and platinum was up $2 at $915, while palladium gained $14 at $861. Overnight, we saw gold trade a low of $23.80 and a high of $24.18 this morning. So far, up $26.60 right now at $2,410 the ounce, back over that 2,400 number. And silver up 41 cents at $27 per ounce. Platinum up $2 at $917, and palladium up $19 at $880 the ounce. So the market's doing very well. After the little bit of sell-off, we're within $60 or $70 of the all-time high for gold.
Wow.
Still very strong numbers for the precious metals, doing exactly what they should do, and that is protect your hard-earned dollars.
Yeah, and when it comes to 1 ounce gold today, when people are coming in, because, I mean, gold's hot, let's face it. I mean, what are people coming in just for generic, let me get what I can get, or are people coming in asking for very specific things? What's popular right now is what I'm asking.
Everything is, everybody has their preferences, and we, of course, have all the main products in stock for immediate delivery, but everybody can enjoy picking the things they like. A lot of people go for the lowest premiums that they can get, so that's typically the gold bars or some of the country coins. But we have it all, and it's...
That's right. I'll take, if it's gold, I'll take. And I'll tell you, those of you that are new to the metals, if you've never, I understand. Anytime you do something new, you don't understand it. You don't. William Youngerman and his crew over there will talk to you and walk you through the whole process and answer any questions you have. They open up at 10 a.m. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can call them at 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. And online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And at WilliamYoungerman.com, you can find both the address and phone number. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, we'll be right back.
The social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane.
All righty, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. Let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Ellen from Baltimore.
Oh, you sound upset. You must be upset that your candidate picked a running mate that is committing stolen valor.
How are you going to get out of this one?
Well, considering you're supporting a 5-time draft dodger and a vice president who had a desk job during his tour of duty. No, I don't.
A desk job? In a combat zone in Iraq? They have desks out in the sand dunes? I didn't know that. That's interesting. This is great. You're very consistent. You don't like Trump. You take issue with him not being drafted. You take issue with J.D. Vance's service. So you must be really livid that your own party has betrayed you and picked someone who's out there committing stolen valor.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Oh, that doesn't bother you. He abandoned his unit of 500 men. Some of them were killed in battle, and he claims that he was there with them, and he wasn't.
Oh, listen here. You've got no leg to stand on, man. You got a chicken, 5-time draft dodger president. Want to be president, and
well, listen, you're a Democrat, and you're an old lady. You know, you were around during the Vietnam War era. I mean, weren't you Democrats telling people to do whatever they could do to avoid being drafted and sent off to Vietnam? I mean, I thought that was an honorable thing to do, dodge the draft for Democrats. Yeah, wasn't that their whole thing, Steve? Dodge the draft if you can, burning the draft cards. That was the Democrat platform.
Sorry, Brian. My brothers all served in Vietnam. No big deal. You're trying so hard.
So your brothers, so maybe you should have your brothers, you're going to tell us they probably died in combat, she's trying to gain credibility. But your brothers would be very upset that a man is out there pretending to have been in combat when he was in Italy during the during the Iraq War. He wasn't in Italy during World War II, okay?
Yeah, but when he talks about in war, he's talking about all the time he's trained all these other people how to...
He said, weapons of war that I carried in war in Italy.
So what?
So what? So what? So what? So what?
You're laughable. You got no leg to stand on. You got a 5-time draft dodger.
Yeah. Yeah.
J.D. Vance, whose only tour of duty there was behind a desk.
Well, at least, I don't know if it was behind a desk, but at least he was there. At least he was there, unlike Walz.
Behind a desk.
So what?
We ain't got no leg to stand on.
I know, you keep saying that over and over again. The Democrats need to send out some new talking points. These are weak.
You're a hypocrite, Brian.
Tell me what you like. Tell me what you like about Walz.
All I like is he's down to earth.
Give me an example of his down to earthness.
Maxi pads in the boys' room.
Yeah, tampons in the boys' room.
Who cares?
When I was in high school, people used to go to the boys' room to smoke pot and look at Playboys. He's got tampons in his. That seems odd.
Just because you're a transphobe.
A transphobe? What? A transphobe? A transphobe? What does that mean? I'm against transportation?
It's just because you guys are bigoted. I can't help that.
Bigoted? Why would you need tampons in the boys' room?
I don't know, but who cares?
Who cares? Well, you said he's relatable. We're trying to find out. Give us an example of something about Walz that you relate to.
All the good things he's done. Why?
Like what? Like what?
Free meals for children.
Free meals for children? Who is against free meals for children? You just made that up. That's not even one of his fake. Do you know? Hey, by the way, Steve. He's not just stolen valor with the combat. He was never the head high school coach. That's a lie too. He was the assistant coach. That's correct.
Did anybody say he was?
Yes, he did. Yes, his resume. He did. He's been saying it for years.
Not a head coach, a coach.
Oh no, head coach at the high school. See, what people do that are compulsive liars, they build the lie on some truth to give it credibility.
You guys are running scared because you know you're going to lose.
Uh-huh.
You're going to lose.
That doesn't
You're going to
hold much water today.
Yeah. Your speech, you're starting to slur your words. I guess the booze is kicking in.
Mark my words, you guys are going to lose.
Okay. What? What did she say? Oh my goodness. I don't know where she's got to go, It's not like she's got a husband to cook breakfast for. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Bob in Lake Worth.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, I just want to thank you for one of the funniest phone calls I've ever heard in my life. That was hilarious. That woman is so crazy. And she pretty much sums up the Democratic Party. He's nice. He's nice. They're going to ruin the country, but he's nice. They're going to increase the price of medicine. They're going to increase the price of everything. Inflation's going to continue out. But he's nice. He's down to earth. I'm going to vote for him because I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to talk about.
You got her down pretty good, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe I can play her on Saturday Night Live one day if they're looking for her. Hey, Steve, you got to realize that the news is in the bag for the Democrats. They don't want to break any stories. All they want to do is cover so that their men can win. That's all they care about. So they're never going to go against their talking points that they get from Nancy Pelosi. So you keep thinking about, they're going to start telling the truth. Man, it took them, 4 or 5 years to tell the truth about anything.
Well, wait a minute, but the point is, I think there's enough sources out there and enough people willing to tell the truth that they can't cover it up. It's too big to cover.
So, like they finally came true about the laptop from hell.
Mm-hmm.
After the damage has been done, they'll come. We made a mistake after,
I don't think it's going to take
jettison our presidents.
Because of the circumstances, which means the election. I don't think they're going to have that much trouble getting the story out.
They will not put the story out.
Too big to cover. Too big to cover.
Like the laptop, like the Russian collusion hoax, like the PP hoax, like all the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, all right.
So they're not going to do it, and then later on they're going to say, they're going to have some little byline someplace. Oh yeah, that was fake, and then go on to the next hoax.
Mm-hmm.
Media will never tell you the truth.
But that's okay. The mainstream media are irrelevant. Their reach and influence is minor.
Yeah, nobody believes it anyway. They're worse than Congress.
What is your first name?
Bob from Lake Worth.
Robert from Lake Worth. Do me a favor,
Yeah.
Robert. Call me, if you'd be kind enough. Call me tomorrow at just about this time, and let's see what has unfolded in the 24 hours since we've spoken.
My guess is Trump has a press conference today at 2. He's planning on opening up something.
Maybe a few people may be watching, too.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'll do. I'm a diehard Republican MAGA fan, so I'm working. I'll try to.
There you go. That'll work. All right, good to. All right, Bob. Take care. Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
William Green, calling from North Carolina.
North Carolina. What's up?
I'm going to make this quick. I want to make 2 points about Walz and Harris. First of all, the stolen valor is fake news. It's wrong.
No, it's not.
Tell you why. Walz is right. He was in the military during the Gulf War. He mentioned that he wore the all the equipment during wartime. He didn't say combat.
No, let me play it. I'm going to play the clip, and we'll hear it in his own words. Okay?
Okay. We can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons.
Those weapons of war I carried in war. That's saying that he was in combat.
No, wartime. Everybody.
He didn't say wartime. Carried in war.
Everybody who goes to war, who's in war, in the military doing war, doesn't go to combat.
Come on. Pathetic. You're pathetic.
A lot of people do get the same equipment as people who go to combat.
He said weapons of war that I carried in war. That means combat. That's stolen valor.
Doesn't mean combat.
And we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
Weapons of war that I carried in war. Not Italy.
Combat ribbon. Let me tell you this. Everybody who was in different units didn't get a combat ribbon because they didn't get in combat. They weren't getting.
Yeah, but he abandoned his 500 men. Some of them were killed in the combat that he claims that he was a part of that he wasn't.
Another story about which.
Are you? It's all true. Are you a veteran?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what branch were you in?
The Marines.
Oh, where'd you go to boot camp?
San Diego.
Yeah, what was your MOS?
I was in supply, but.
What was your MOS though? What was the? What's the Marine Corps? What's the Marine Corps birthday?
November 10th.
You should be quadruply pissed off. You're real. I mean, you're a veteran. You know, you're a veteran, and here you're a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And as a Marine, you're covering for a coward that abandoned his 500 men. What if your command sergeant major abandoned you and guys in your unit got killed, and then he goes around for 10 years and claims he was with them? You're worse than just you're as bad as him. You're a veteran who is supporting stolen valor. Shame on you.
First of all, he didn't say combat. And the Marines, we changed people.
Weapons of war that I carried in war. You're a collaborator. You're a stolen valor collaborator.
You?
As a veteran. You are a stolen valor collaborator.
Do you understand the difference between combat and war?
No, I don't. Oh my goodness. If you're on hold, we're out of time. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow. Remember, Friday, open phones, open MAGA mic Friday on Fridays. That's tomorrow already. The great calls today. I wish that guy would have called a little earlier. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Take care.
That's 104.3. 103.1 HD3.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, and you're already sub, please like the video. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.